Hi mommies, this is Tanya, Noor's mom. So today I'm going to be speaking to you all about how to encourage your baby to start walking. So the moment a tiny little baby starts sitting or crawling, all we can think about is when they will start taking their first steps. I genuinely understand your desperation, but dear parents, please understand that walking is a very big development milestone that every baby achieves as per his or her own pace. Walking is a culmination of all the other milestones that the baby has achieved earlier, like rolling over, sitting, crawling, and depends on a lot of factors like his or her genes, the strength in his body, his body weight, and his own determination to start taking those first steps. Babies can start walking anywhere from 9 to 18 months. Yes, it's a very big window. There are some babies who can start walking as early as 9 months, whereas some they go on till 18, 19, or even 20 months. So, in both cases, both of these babies are normal. So, please stop comparing your baby with your neighbor's baby who started walking at 9 or 10 months. For walking, a child needs four things majorly. A child needs proper strength in his legs and his back. He needs to learn to support his body weight on his shoulders and his pelvis. He needs to learn how to balance his body. And the fourth thing is that he needs to learn to coordinate his feet with his arms or their hand movement. So, there are certain things that we can include in our baby's daily routine right from birth that will help in developing all these four things I've just mentioned. And they will not only help in making your baby walk faster, but will also help in achieving other milestones faster, like rolling over, sitting, and crawling. So, number one, tummy time. So, I have spoken about tummy time millions of times in my videos, and I cannot stress the importance of it. Tummy time is very essential to develop strength in a child's back, his shoulders, arms. And yes, you can start tummy time the moment your baby is born, right from day one. Start with those 30 seconds, 2 minutes of tummy time, and move to an hour or two of tummy time by the time your baby is around 5 or 6 months older. Tummy time is the magic key to achieving all milestones on time. Next is floor time. So it's very important that you give your baby time on the floor. That is, that the moment he starts rolling over, then you should know that it's time to move the baby from the bed to the floor on the mat, so that he can experience space. He can experience the solidness of the ground, the mat. He learns grip. His curiosity increases. So floor time is very essential in that case. Next, massage. Yes, baby body massage right from birth till at least 1 year is very important, because it helps in developing strength in the baby's muscles and also boosts body circulation, which also facilitates movement. Next, please do not put your child into walkers. Yes, we put our child into walkers thinking that it will help our child walk faster, but actually research shows that it delays the child's walking milestone. I have a detailed video on why you should not give walkers to your baby, but the gist is that when the baby is in a walker, the walker is walking for him. He is not walking. And the babies usually start walking on their toes while in the walker. That's because walker helps in developing the baby's lower leg muscle only. It does not develop the baby's upper leg muscle. And it is actually this upper leg strength which is required for walking. So, no walkers at all. Regarding push walkers, once your baby learns to stand on his own without any support, then you can go for a push walker or a push toy. But I would not even recommend that, because I have heard experiences where children have gotten used to the push walker and now they are not willing to leave it. So I also bought a push walker for Noor, but I never ever used it as a push toy for her. It was always been used as an activity center, and she learned to walk without it. So I would completely recommend not to buy any walkers at all. Next, you should limit your baby's time that he spends in activity centers like a jumperoo or pram walks or a swing, because the more time the child is in these activity centers, the less time he's crawling or he's on the floor. So the less time he is spending developing his body strength. So it's okay, you can put them in these centers, but limit it to 30 to 45 minutes a day. That's it. Rest of the time, the baby should be on the floor crawling or on his tummy, basically just engaging his muscles. Next, please do not make your baby wear any kind of footwear, shoes, slippers, socks. If it is summers, please avoid them, because babies need to learn to form that grip of their feet to the ground. That will help them actually walking. When the baby's foot is on the ground, when the baby is barefoot, it helps in developing muscle tone in his feet, his ankles and arches, which is required for balance and coordination. So no shoes until your baby starts walking independently. I have a separate video on baby footwear, that what you can make your baby wear in case it's winters and you don't want to leave them barefoot obviously, but no shoes. And lastly, when he starts crawling, you should encourage as much crawling as you can. Invest in those crawling toys, which when you press they move a little distance. Reach and grab toys, so that they crawl as much as they can, and that is actually helping develop strength in their arms, their legs, their pelvis. They're also learning coordination between hands and feet. So all these activities that I just talked about should be included in your baby's daily routine right from day one, which will help in achieving all the gross motor milestones. But now, what do we need to do that is specific to making your baby walk? Okay, so first let us discuss the stages of walking. So the first stage is when the baby pulls to stand. He pulls something and then he stands, right? For that he needs strength in his shoulders, his arms and his legs. This happens around the 8 and 9 month mark. Then the next stage is the baby starts taking support of objects and walking. So he's holding a table and walking around the corners of it. That is called cruising. This happens around 9 or 10 months. Then the next stage is baby starts standing independently. He's not holding anything while standing. This comes between 9 and 12 months. And the last stage is independent walking. The baby is walking on his own, which can come anywhere between 9 and 18 months, like I told you. So, what are some of those exercises or activities that we can do so that we can reach each and every stage of walking earlier and faster, so that our baby can start walking, at the earliest? So, the first exercise that you can do to encourage walking is standing practice. Yes, standing practice is very, very important, because when the baby is standing for long periods, that is the time when his legs are developing, the muscles in his legs are strengthening, and his endurance to stand is also developing. So for that, you can just make your baby stand in his crib or next to a coffee table or a sofa, or you can invest in a pickler triangle if you do have, and the baby can stand on it. Or you can get an activity table, or you can just hold the baby next to a wall and the baby can stand there. The next is encouraging your baby to pull to stand, because that is the first stage of walking. So now for that, what you need is, again, your baby should be on the floor and you need to put some attractive toy on a certain height. Say if your baby is sitting on the floor, put an attractive toy on a sofa or the bed or a coffee table, or you can hang some toys on the pickler triangle at a height, and the baby will be attracted to pull himself to stand. So when he's doing that, he's actually developing strength in his shoulders. He's learning to support his body weight on his pelvis, and at the same time he's squatting, right? He's squatting, and that is actually developing strength in his lower and upper legs. So now you have put a toy on top of the sofa to encourage him to pull to stand. Now put another toy back near his feet so that he's attracted to go down again. That is again squatting, which is again good for leg strength. Now, once a baby knows how to pull himself to stand, then we have to teach him how to walk with support. So cruising is described as an activity where the baby takes support of an object like a coffee table, sofa, bed, and he walks. So babies initially can only walk in straight lines, right? That is why you should make your baby's play area or wherever he's spending time in, there should be some kind of linear spaces. So like a big long sofa or a coffee table's edge, your bed, the crib. So encourage your baby to pull to stand on one corner of the sofa. Now place your baby's favorite toy on the other end of the sofa and encourage him to take small steps while getting support from the sofa to go towards it. When the baby reaches the toy, let him play with it for 30
Good
seconds.
girl.
Then again take the toy and place it back to the other end of the sofa. And do this practice as many times as you can. I used to do it around 10 to 20 times for Noor a day. Do it as many times as you can in straight linear lines. You can even line up chairs if you don't have like a long coffee table, sofa, bed, and then make your baby practice cruising. Now, once your baby knows how to walk with support, then start increasing the gap between the linear spaces. So, for example, you have joined two sofas like this. Now, start increasing the gap a little. So, when the baby goes from here to here, he has to take that one step without any support, and that will actually help him learn how to stand independently. That will build that independent standing. So say you are in your drawing room and there are sofas and in between there's a coffee table. So get the coffee table very near to the sofa, put a toy on the coffee table when your baby is near the sofa and encourage him to walk just one step. So make sure the toy is not very far also. It should be within reach so that your baby is actually motivated to get there. And when he gets there, let him play with the toy. Don't take away that toy and suddenly move it ahead. No. Give him small milestones to reach. He will learn how to stand independently and take that one step without support. When the baby now knows independent standing also, what you need to do is practice assisted walking with your baby. Now, what is assisted walking is that you support your baby's body and you make him walk. So now, how do you do that? So most people do this the wrong way. What they do is they go behind the baby and they hold their baby's arms or hands like this. The baby's hands are like this and the baby is in front, the baby is walking and the parent is behind walking. This is a completely wrong way to teach your baby how to walk. The baby needs to learn balance to walk, right? So the moment we put his hands like this up, we are pulling his hands, we are maintaining the balance for them. We are auto-correcting their balance. So they are not learning anything. So when we do this, they think that, now it's very easy to walk. So they start rushing. They start kind of running. That is because their body is off balance and they are trying to reach to their center of gravity. Also, they start leaning forward and walking because once again, the balance is back there and they are walking in front. So this also encourages walking on their toes a lot. And the baby actually doesn't learn anything. But the baby enjoys it so much that he wants to do it all the time. And once you start doing this with him, walking like this, he will want to do this the entire day. And eventually he will not actually be learning anything. So when you want to make your baby do assisted walking, you do not need to hold your baby's hands or the arms. You need to hold the baby's rib cage, this part. Or you need to hold the upper arms, these arms. So go behind and hold the baby's rib cage or the upper arms. And the baby's hand should not be raised up. They should be at this level, normal level. And then make your baby take steps. Also, another way that you can do is you can take a towel, you can make a roll kind of thing with it, place it on your baby's chest and hold it from behind. and then let your baby walk. So in this, the baby will be completely walking on his own. You will just be supporting him from his trunk, and he will be understanding all the aspects of walking, which is balance, coordination, body weight bearing, everything. Another form of assisted walking that you can do is that instead of being behind the baby and holding his trunk and making him walk, you kneel down in front of the baby at a distance, hold his hands straight like this, and then encourage him to walk. And when he's walking, you leave one hand at a time and then the other, and let him just take those 1 or 2 steps. And don't worry about the falling also, because you are there in front. So if he falls, he'll fall on you only. And also remember that falling is a process of walking. Your baby will get hurt. He will, even while pulling himself to standing, he will fall down multiple times. And that is normal. That is how he's going to learn about his body. That is how he will be becoming aware of his body, his balance, and he will understand what to do and what not to do. So let him be part of that process. Then, when your baby starts taking those first or 1 or 2 unsupported steps, then you can start practicing another form of assisted walking with your baby, in which you hold just one hand of your baby down below, not like this, but down below, and just walk with him. And slowly he will get the hang of it, and he will start walking on his own. But the key in all of this is practice, practice, and practice. More of flow time, more of activity, less of time spent in activity centers where there is no activity happening. Practice, practice, practice every day. I cannot, stress on the importance of this. And the more you practice, the faster your baby will be able to walk. Another thing that you must keep in mind is that you must encourage and motivate your baby all throughout all these steps, because babies, they sense appreciation. So when we appreciate something, they think that, there is something really good happening, so I should do it again and again. So whenever the baby does even one step out of all of this, you should really encourage him, clap him, say good job, and encourage him to do it again and again. Because sometimes what happens is babies lose their determination. They don't want to start walking independently because they're so used to, you supporting them. So no walkers, and that is why I also say no push walkers, because the babies get used to it. They don't want to leave it. They get that fear inside them. So that's about it. Hope this video was helpful. Keep writing. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.